everyone, and welcome. I'm Zonya Foco. Just think of lasagna Coco. Great name for a nutritionist, dietitian. And yes, I've been in this field for over 30 years now. And I'm so excited about what I've learned in these 30 years about what does it take to lose weight. You know, there's a lot of ways to lose weight out there. And if any of you ever get confused about what it takes, so much conflicting information, what does it take? But think about it. What does it take to lose weight? And what does it take to lose weight for good? That's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm super excited about what I have to share with you. So before I jump into my things I know for sure, I'd like to start with I'd like to go to our slides and I want to just quiz you on what you know. And one is about a healthy lifestyle and in America, what's going on with the healthy lifestyle. So I want to share with you that true or false? What do you think? Only 8% of people currently meet the recommendations for a healthy lifestyle. Wow, only 8% in the United States of America? What do you think? True or false? True or false? Well, if you said true, you're wrong. If you said false, you're right. But the question is it higher or lower? And the answer is, it is only 3%. Only 3% of Americans currently live a healthy lifestyle. So what do you think? Are you one of those? Do you think so? Are you? And I'll tell you, there's a simple 4-question test to be able to tell if you live a healthy lifestyle. So let's find out about that. Let's take a look. The simple 4-question test goes like this. And what I want you to do, it's a yes/no test. I want you to hold up your fist. And I know we can't see you, but I want you to just, to yourself, give yourself a finger for every yes answer, okay? So here we go, starting with your index finger. Are you a non-smoker? Because that's key to a healthy lifestyle, right? And I hope that you are, and if not, I hope you're working on it, okay? All right, great. And what's the next question? True or false? Yes or no? Do you eat at least 5 servings of fruit and vegetables each day? Do you? I do. And it looks like my husband does too. He's got 2 fingers up, yay. And so way to go, 2 servings, at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And that's the serving size of your fist, in case you're wondering. So I know a lot of people have a hard time with this. And it's pretty key to a healthy lifestyle, right along with smoking, not smoking, okay? All right, the next one. What is it, true or false? Or yes or no, I should say. Do you exercise at least 30 minutes most days of the week? Come on now, most days of the week. You can be sedentary for 23 and a half hours. Just 30 minutes. Got to be active. Some people have a hard time with that. I'm able to do it. And the last and fourth is, are you within a healthy weight? So those are the 4 questions, and only 3% in America can do this. Okay, yeah. That is only 4. By the way, this is Scott Foco, my AV guy and love of my life. And oh yeah, okay, yeah, that too. And just letting you know that we are, and Debbie Yates, I want to introduce Debbie Yates, is facilitating tonight. Thank you so much for that. And I just want you to know that only 3% of people in America can say yes to all 4 of those questions. Why do these elude us? Why do they elude us? And what can we do about it? And I will tell you that what I know for sure, especially that, are you at a healthy weight? Well, the other things will help you get to a healthy weight, the fruits and the vegetables and the exercise that'll help you get there. I am passionate about helping people say yes to all 4 of those. And your life changes when you can say yes to all 4 of those. So let's just say, what if you're not? What if you only had 1 finger up, 2 fingers, 3 fingers? Big deal. Well, an unhealthy lifestyle is important, right? An unhealthy lifestyle relates to certain diseases. It absolutely does. It relates to an increased risk of % of cancers. Anybody want to guess out there? What % of cancers? 50%, 60%. The answer is 70% of all cancers are related to lifestyle. So this is a big deal. What about heart disease? It's 80%. And what about type 2 diabetes? 90% to our lifestyle. So a healthy lifestyle pays off. And what I'm going to share with you today about getting to a healthy weight, and I'm not just talking about losing weight to look good and doing it in a healthy way, but doing it in a healthy way that increases antioxidants, decreases our risk of cancer and heart disease and diabetes, and absolutely builds health and decreases inflammation markers in the body. Yes, absolutely, you can do that. So I want to share this poem by Robin Crow, and I am a what? And I want you to guess, and I want you to use the chat. When you think you know what the answer is, I want you to type into the chat what you think that word is, the missing word, all right? So let's read this poem together. I am your constant companion. I am your greatest asset or your heaviest burden. I will push you up to success or down to disappointment. I am at your command. Half the things you do might as well just be turned over to me, for I can do them quickly, correctly, and profitably. I am easily managed. Just be firm with me. Those who are great, I have made great. Those who are failures, I have made failures. I'm not a machine, though I work with the precision of a machine and the intelligence of a person. Show me how you want it done. Educate me, train me, lead me, and reward me. And I will do it then automatically. Wow. So what do you think the word is? What do you think? Subconscious mind. Good question. Motivation, brain, body. I'm muscle, your attitude. Attitude is a good one. I like that one. Choice, brain, body. Aha. I see the answer, and it is Norma Farnsworth said it. Kayleen Anderson said it. Julie Wilhart said it. I am a habit. Wow. To those who are great, I have made great. Those who are failures, I have made failures. Show me how you want it done. Educate me, train me, lead me, reward me. That's a habit. I want to share with you, these things that I'm going to share with you are all about habits, things that we do automatically without thinking, how we've trained our mind to think and behave. When we go to a restaurant, what do we order? When we go out, do we order one alcoholic drink or two? What is happy hour for us? Is it 5 nights a week? Is it 7 nights a week or one night a week? What is it? What is habit for us? And these things lead to losing weight and keeping our weight off. And habit is so big. So let's take a look. I want to share this with you. How many of you have ever taken your children to a martial arts class? You know, jiu-jitsu or karate or, you know, any of those. Have you done that? I know I've gotten to do that. I will tell you that in my home lives a world-class martial arts champion. His name is Rodney Partridge. And take a look at this. He won first place in the Pan American Jiu-Jitsu Championship a few years back. And that's a big deal, okay? In my little own hometown of Onstead, Brooklyn, Michigan, he owns a martial arts studio and trains adults. And it's not often that he'll train children. But a few years back, when my son was only 10 years old, he was able and fortunate to attend one of his Rare Kids series. And each and every one of the classes always began with about 20 minutes of practicing the forms, or the katas, as they're called. Whoops, the katas. You know, the forms. You probably watched them do these, right? The forms. And they were designed to review every effective move in combat. And each week, the kids dutifully endured this fundamental until the next 30 minutes when they got to grapple, which was, of course, their favorite part, right? I don't have a great picture of that, but you get the idea. They loved grappling, especially when they got to grapple with Coach Rodney. Well, I was observing this about the 8th class one day when Rodney instructed them to begin as they always did every single class with the forms. That's when a kid hollered out, "But Coach Rodney, we know those already. Can't we just grapple?" And Coach Rodney replied, "No matter how good you get, if you want to be a winner, You will always begin your training by practicing the forms, because those forms are the foundation for every life-saving move that your body must be able to perform automatically. That means if an intruder attacks you from behind, your body will then respond without even thinking, with a perfectly executed move. You want to be a winner, don't you? Then always begin with the forms. I drove home that day thinking about that the kids just wanted to grapple. But he said, no matter how good you get, always begin with the forms. No matter how good you are. Even him as a champion, he always begins with 30 minutes of the forms. And I thought, that's what's the matter with America today. Americans, we don't want to learn. If we do know what the forms are, we certainly don't want to practice them every day. And if we want to learn the forms, and I will tell you, in America, we want to go on a diet and lose weight. And I know so many people, one whom I'm going to share with you today, that he has lost so much weight doing weight loss challenges at his work. He has won weight loss challenges and big prizes. And he shared with me that every time he did that and he won, he didn't win because he always gained the weight back and then some. And he said when he went on a diet, he didn't learn what he was supposed to really do for life. Let me just share with you that what it takes to lose weight and keep it off forever is that we really need to learn to love our new lifestyle. We've got to find a lifestyle that we can live with: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, how we go out to eat at restaurants, how we do happy hour. We've got to find a way to enjoy it. And we don't have to be perfect all the time. We just have to learn to be able to, in fact, you don't want to be perfect all the time. Being what I call diet free, no deprivation. So I'm going to share with you, I've got 6 things of things I know for sure. So let's go back to our slides and I want to share that with you. So that's the Rodney Partridge story. And it's overarching about habits. And I want to ask you now, what are your habits? What are your routines? What are your rituals when you get up in the morning? What is it? Does it feed your health? Let's take a look. What I know for sure, number 1, is I want to share with you, and this is so pivotal and so important. What I know for sure is that our US food environment makes it darn near impossible to lose weight and stay slim. Yep. If you've ever felt like it's tough to lose weight and keep it off, well, this is why. Let me share with you why. And this is Kelly Brownell. Now, you may not know this name. I know this name because in the world of nutrition, he's a big dude. I mean, this guy does a lot of studies. He's an author of so many important things. And I was reading an interview where he called our food environment toxic. And I was like, Kelly, come on. I think you've gone overboard here. Our food environment in America isn't toxic. We have the cleanest drinking water in the world. And we have, fruits and vegetables all the time. I mean, what are you talking about? And he went on to say, because people who are exposed to it get sick. That's right. When people come from other countries and they come to our country, do you know that within 6 months, they gain, on average, 7 pounds? Why do they gain 7 pounds? And when they gain 7 pounds just by coming to our country, what else upticks? Their blood pressure, their cholesterol, their risk for diabetes, their insulin. All of this is not well controlled. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll tell you, prevalence of adult obesity in America from 1994 to 2000 to 2015, here's the deal. Red, the dark colors, bad. The light colors, good. Look at what's been going on in America from an obesity standpoint. It's kind of like a fat tsunami going across America. And it's our food environment. It's not even really anybody's fault. It's our food environment. When you think about it, what I'm going to show you in a second. And along with this comes type 2 diabetes. And prevalence of diabetes comes right along with it. So pretty interesting stuff, I will tell you. And I was working with somebody, and then kids in type 2 diabetes, take a look at this. 2 decades ago, 3% of new cases is type 2. In fact, they call type 2 diabetes. They used to call it adult onset diabetes because people only got it when they were older and overweight and had a poor lifestyle. And it was called adult onset diabetes because type 1 diabetes is juvenile onset. And you get that as young as a child in your youth. And it is not something that is so much related to your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is very effective in controlling it, but not related to your poor lifestyle. So they had to change the name because so many kids were being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So they couldn't call it adult onset. They called it type 2 diabetes. And I will tell you, 2 decades ago, it was 3% of new cases. Do you know what it is now? It's 30 to 45% of all new type 2 diabetes cases are with children. Wow. And this is why you've heard that health experts predict that this generation of youths will be the first to live fewer years than their parents. That's right. This will be. Wow. So our food environment is scary, and there's a war going on. You know, we always think in America we have no wars here, and we think how wonderful and peaceful it is here. But there is a war for our health going on right here on this soil. I'm going to share it with you. And you've got to join in this fight to fight for your own health. And if you've ever thought it's tough, it is tough. And you can't win a war if you don't know who you're at war with. You've got to know how to protect yourself and think differently and live in this society. So let me just share with you that some advertising dollars to give you an idea of what Kelly Brownell talked about with our environment, our food environment, the More Matters campaign to promote fruits and vegetables. What do you think is this is the government. They know that if there's anything that can do to help us fight cancer, heart disease, any of that, that it is definitely to get Americans to eat more fruits and vegetables. Hands down, absolutely the best way to lose weight, everything. And on average, we only eat 2.2 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And we need to eat 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So you remember they used to call it the 5-a-day campaign, 5 a day, 2 fruits, 3 vegetables, any combination, the 5-a-day campaign. Well, they changed it to More Matters because they realized that we need to have 10 to 13. We need to have more, but wherever you are, just more matters. So they changed the title, and they have an annual advertising budget. Our government spends $3.5 million promoting More Matters. Maybe when you go to buy produce, it's printed right on the plastic bags that you get. More Matters, you know, more fruits and vegetables. You might see that. And I'm happy, $3.5 million. Woohoo, that's kind of a lot. In contrast, how much money do you think they spend, the Reese's, on the company for Reese's? What do you think they spend on annual advertising budget in contrast? Well, it's $38 million. Wow. And M&M's, what do you think? Do you think it's more or less than Reese's? What do you think? Think it's probably more? Well, if you said more, it's 74 million, about twice. All right. And Burger King, the annual advertising budget, want to guess? 388. Wow. And McDonald's, what do you think? More or less? Definitely more. And you're right. And when you put it all together now, we didn't even talk about soda and energy drinks, and we didn't talk about all these. You put all these together, sugary cereals, fruit roll-ups, and all together, wow. Those advertising dollars compared to our $3.5 million to promote eating fruits and vegetables, no wonder. And we all have targets on our back. I don't know if you notice it, but we have a target on our back. We are advertised to, right? You know how you're driving down the road and there's Applebee's on the right and there's Chili's on the left. Does Applebee's want you to go to Chili's? No. Does Chili's want you to go to Applebee's? No. And what will they do to get you to go to their restaurant? Coupons? Big portions? Yeah. And we love it, don't we? We think we're getting a deal. We have to buy all new clothes. Is it such a deal? If you have to have high blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, is it such a deal? Did you know there's something called the Bliss Point? Do y'all know what it is? The Bliss Point. Sounds kind of fun. Let me just share with you that Howard Moskowitz, a food scientist, while working for Dr. Pepper, invented how to bring the sweetness level of food to the highest level without becoming too sweet. And he's been applauded for that. How to get it to the highest level of sweet before consumers would say, no, that's too sweet. But the highest level of sweet without it being, no, that's too sweet. Because they know that if they get it really sweet, like sweet tea, Mickey D's sweet tea for $1, being a first time you taste it, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's really sweet. And we learn to like things really, really sweet. The Bliss Point. Food manufacturers have been messing with us. And that is, I'll tell you. So for instance, I was at one of those conferences and you're sitting down and you're getting to meet people. And this person was was from Sweden. That's where it was, Sweden. And she was sharing with me, she said, yes, everything, all your food in America is so sweet. And I go, I'm thinking, yeah, our food is sweet. And she goes, no, I mean sweet. And I go, what do you mean all our food is sweet? She goes, everything is sweet. Your salad dressings are sweet. And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, we just use vinegar and oil. And everything has sugar in it. And I got to thinking, oh, yeah, I guess classic Catalina and, our raspberry vinaigrettes are really pretty sweet, aren't they? And she goes, and your peanut butter is sweet. We don't put sugar in our peanut butter. You put sugar in your peanut butter. I'm like, And if you've ever had a teaspoon of peanut butter of Jif or Skippy, it's so sweet. There is sugar in there and you can just keep spooning it. And yes, our brain is wired. Oh my goodness, you got it right. It's like, whoa, addictive. And then Prego, she goes, your spaghetti sauce, it's sweet too. We don't put sugar in our spaghetti sauce. I'm like, we put sugar in spaghetti sauce? Sure enough, you go and look and there's sugar in just about a lot of spaghetti sauces. And you're thinking, wow, we put sugar in a lot of things. And of course, she goes, your cereals, we eat muesli. We eat raw oatmeal with nuts and berries and cinnamon. We don't have frosted flakes. We don't. And I was listening to her and I was like, wow. And this was back in the days when all we were talking about was fat. And it's like, no, sugar. Fat's important. Sugar's important. Good fats. We need good fats for satiety, all kinds of good. Going no fat was such a wrong excuse. That was a wrong mistake. But going positively, going with sugar, we need to address sugar too. So one of the things I know for sure is learning how to dial down your bliss point, knowing how to live in our environment without being affected by our environment, being able to have a healthy environment at home and to be able to shield ourselves from advertising, shielding ourselves from the bliss point that food manufacturers are pushing upon us. And you don't know it, but they are. And you can control it. You can put your finger on that sweetness dial, dial it to the right, dial it to the right. You like everything so sweet. You like lots of pancake syrup on your pancakes. No, dial it to the left, dial it to the left. You like things less sweet. Oh, just some applesauce on your pancakes is plenty. Just some berries. You can control your sweetness acuity, your bliss point. You can do it. In fact, I want to share that hyperpalatable is a new word that they had to invent because restaurants, chefs, the way they were designing foods is they always just made it palatable before, but now they make it hyperpalatable. They want everything to light up, all the pleasure centers of your brain when you bite into this, not just salty, not just sweet, and not just fat, but all three of these. It's called hyperpalatable. And when people, they don't just go, oh yeah, that's good. They go, oh my gosh, this is like addictively good. This is so great. And you just like want to do a face plant and something like that, right? And or addictive. Is foods addictive? I remember in college over 30 years ago asking my professor, can foods be addictive? And they're like, yes, foods can be addictive. And chocolate chip cookies, absolutely. But back then they said no. It took another 10 years. It took brain MRI imaging and the Dr. Oz show to be able to demonstrate and show that foods like chocolate chip cookies and cocaine, they watch cocaine light up the pleasure centers of the brain, and sweets and sugar will light up the pleasure centers of the brain one level less than does cocaine. So yes, we know that certain foods are addictive, absolutely, and especially when they're in combination like this. So giant portions in America, they want you to come to their store, so they're going to give you giant portions and we don't even notice it. And if you have it, you can have it. It's one of my favorite things I love to say. If you have it, you can have it. And it's amazing how satisfied you can be when you have it. It is so true. And you save money doing it too. So, but sitting, how much we sit for work. Our society sits a lot. And I know that's a problem. And so, and if you're standing during this webinar live stream, yay you. And if you're not, you can be standing. I encourage you to do it, to defy the standards of sitting all the time. But when you really put this together, this is why when people move from other countries to here, this is why they gain 7 pounds in 6 months. This is why everything upticks. It's no wonder it's so darn hard. No wonder, no wonder. I got done with a speech and this man came up to me and he goes, oh, we had this exchange student from Taiwan. And as soon as she came in, it was like, oh, this is great. And so I said to her, I said, oh, I said, tell me about that. He goes, oh, the first night we went out to eat and she had just gotten here. It's first time in America and we took her out to eat. And, I helped her with the menu and she picked something out and in it came and they put the plate in front of her and her eyes were just like aghast in horror about like what was on her plate. And I thought, maybe she was vegetarian and it was meat or it was that kind of a reaction. And, he said, gosh, what's wrong? And she said, oh, she goes, in my country, this is enough food for 3 people. And he goes, welcome to America. Welcome to America. And he said, don't worry about it. Just cut it in half and just take half of it home and everything will be fine. And you'll have lunch for tomorrow. You can pack that up when you go to school tomorrow. And it was interesting because think about it. If it's enough food for 3 people and you cut it in half and you only eat half, you think you're doing really good, but it's still too much. If you've ever thought, I'm trying so hard, I'm really working it, and I'm still can't control my weight, this is why. I will tell you, if you've ever felt failure, I understand. It's hard in our culture, in our food environment, and I want you to know that. And that is step 1. When I say, number 1, what I know for sure is that our US food environment makes it darn near impossible, but not completely. You can still be in charge. We can still live in this beautiful country and we can still enjoy all the good about our produce and everything that we have available to us. But whoa, in the grocery store, we need to have our guard up, and I can teach you how to do that. And many of you have learned a lot of that with me over the courses that I've done. But I will tell you, this is A number 1. So you got it? A number 1 is realize if it seems hard, I don't blame you. And we have to have our guard up. So that's number 1. Alrighty, are you ready for what I know for sure? Number 2. Number 2 is your home and work environment matters. Protect it. What's in your cupboards? What snacks are there? Is there pecan sandies? Is there Oreo cookies? Is there Chips Ahoy cookies? I will tell you, if those are in your cupboards, if those are in my cupboards, I'll eat them too. I don't have any more willpower than anybody else. I'll tell you, I have nuts and berries. Make your environment conducive, make the healthy choice, the easy choice. Have many of you who've been in my seminars before, you know that this is in my refrigerator. It has its own spot, its own shelf, and it is my veggie tray. It's our 24/7 veggie tray. We make this, we're all trained in the house to help replenish it when it gets low. This is the 24/7 veggie tray. Very important. We get out some hummus. Sometimes we make it from scratch. Sometimes we just buy it because we just love is some good, buy it. And I'll tell you, when you snack on veggies and hummus, when you would rather be snacking on crackers or chips or something like this makes all the difference in the world. Make your environment conducive for success. Is it easy to make a salad for you in your house? Have the ready washed, greens ready to go. Have chopped red cabbage ready to go. I chop it, it's in there. I can make a salad so quickly, so easy. It's what I call the easy button salad. Push the easy button on the front of your fridge and a salad pops out. A little bit of planning, a little bit of organization, make your environment conducive for success so that you can be successful. I will tell you, it goes a long way. All right, let's go back to my slides. So let nature be your candy. Some of you see my fruit bowl back here. I have a big giant fruit bowl 24/7, and we see it. It's usually out on the island, actually. We move it back during the shows, but I'll tell you, let nature be your candy. Don't believe any diets that tell you that fruit is fattening. I'm telling you, oranges, bananas, watermelon, they are not the cause of obesity in America today. I've even seen some diets say carrots are high in glycemic index and that you shouldn't eat carrots. Carrots are not the cause of obesity in America today. Fruits and vegetables, 9 to 13 servings a day, learning to snack on them, learning to make them a part of every one of your meals. You've got to be purposeful. You got to think about it, but let these things work for you. The fiber, the antioxidants, it'll drive down inflammation in your body, and it increases satiation in our brain. It helps us fight sweet cravings when we have enough fruit. When you have 2 to 4 servings of fruit every day, you will naturally not have sweet cravings. I know they'll go away. They absolutely will. So I encourage you, buy it, shop for it at work. What about the desk at work? I told a woman, I said, could you have a fruit bowl on your desk at work? And she goes, well, I'd have to move my candy dish. Make your environment conducive for success. Pack things with you, take snacks with you. I will tell you, it makes a big difference. And next up, the Bliss Point Rewired. Before you know it, when you start focusing on these small little habits, pretty soon, the Bliss Point is rewired. And yes, even if you're like, Zonya, I'm so addicted to those wings that we saw earlier, or those chocolate chip cookies, or I'm so addicted, you can rewire the pleasure centers of your brain. You can absolutely dial down your bliss point to where those cookies don't taste good to you. You have a Chips Ahoy cookie and it's so fake and the white flour in it. And I'd rather have something with oatmeal in it and half the sugar and just, I'd really, you get to where you like things healthier, lower in sugar, and more hearty grains. You can change that. And that's when it drives you. And that's what it takes to lose weight for good. It's not a diet you go on for a time. You lose weight for good. So I like to learn things from the various diets that are out there. And that is one thing I would encourage you to do. I want to mention that kids have hijacked bliss points too. Yep, they do. They do. And they don't think vegetables taste good. Of course you wouldn't think vegetables taste good. Think about what a kid has eaten during the day. I mean, are there Pop-Tarts and vegetables? Go-Gurt, those are loaded with sugar. Chocolate milk, the cookie's already in the milk. And Gatorade, all of those are unnecessary places of sugar that get into the kids' diet. And the next thing you know, they don't want that. But I'll tell you, when you start dialing it down, and they have less sugar throughout the day, dinner comes around, and I will tell you that vegetables take on new rapport. I know their bliss points can be changed too. So the whole family can be involved. So number 2, when I know for sure your home environment matters, make the healthy choice the easy choice. You got that? So our environment is so important at work, at home. You can do this. You can make changes. And this is what I'm passionate about. Always working and doing this to help make that happen. All righty. Are you ready for number 3? I have 6 of them. Here we go. Number 3, what I know for sure is that your eating and exercise strategies must be customized by you for you. Meaning, I can't tell you exactly what to do for breakfast, lunch, dinner. I can't tell you exactly what's your new happy hour habits, how much alcohol that you can and should enjoy in a week. I can give you some guidelines. We can figure it out together. But I'll tell you that you've got to customize your healthy lifestyle for you. Like I have 1 or 2 alcoholic drinks a month, maybe. And for someone else, they might need more. We're going to customize. You want to customize it for you. I eat 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Maybe that'd be too much for you, maybe 7. What you enjoy eating, how many vegan meals I eat in a week versus how many you might want to eat in a week. You can't follow any one whole diet, one diet. We want to take the best from keto. There's so many great points in the keto diet. And there's one thing that I have really learned, and that is, it's not stop video. That's not what I meant. Stop share. That's what I meant. Sorry, wrong button. Go back to, yeah, right there. Sorry, I pointed to the wrong button. I wanted to say that a lot of dietitians won't read all those books out there, but I have read all those books out there because I love to take the little bit of nugget of truth that is from each one and help us take those things and put them together, like intermittent fasting. You know, it's not just what you eat, it's when you eat and who you are when you eat it. Are you stressed? Are you happy? Are you relaxed? Are you eating without thinking about it? And when are you eating? And it's, of course, what you eat and how much, but it's who you are when you eat it. And when, the timing. We're learning so much about intermittent fasting, and I've been teaching this for years. I didn't call it intermittent fasting. It was called just stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed, which is the key and pivotal way to be able to give your body 12 hours of rest. I could talk about this a long time because we're learning so much about the benefits of resting and not having food right up until late at night and not having food first thing in the morning. I do believe in including fruit, including breakfast, but it doesn't have to be included early. But about 10:30 or so, you can have your later breakfast and still have breakfast and get your berries, your flax, get all of the good nutrition from oats, get in those things, because if you skip breakfast altogether, you'll miss out on, you won't get all the key nutrients that you need in the day. I can pretty much guarantee it, because breakfast delivers some great things. And you want to boost your metabolism. So we want to get the best of a little bit later breakfast. And that's really cool. So there's much for learning about intermittent fasting. It's when you eat, it's what you eat, and who you are when you eat it. All righty. Going back to this, your eating and exercise strategies must be customized by you for you. What's the exercise for you? It's different. But we need some flexibility. We need some resistance exercise. We need some cardio. How can we put that together into a package that works for you and customize it just for you? I know this for sure. There is much to learn about addictive foods, and we have to live in our lifestyle with a lot of addictive foods. And the correct strategies for coexisting in our world with these foods, what is it? And that's what I see when I see people lose weight and keep it off for good. That's what they do. So that's number 3. All right, you ready for number 4? Here we go. Number 4, what I know for sure is if it ever feels like a diet, it's worthless. You got that? I'm telling you. This is huge. This is huge. If it ever feels like a diet, it's worthless. Deprivation does not work. So I'm going to tell you, that's a big problem with a lot of diets out there. I did go vegan, and for me, it was depriving. For others, it's not. And I salute you. That's great. It's a great vegan, whole food, 100% plant-based lifestyle. But when we can do mostly plants and a little bit of animal foods in moderation, I'll tell you, we can excel and get the best from vegan. And we can also do keto a little bit and learn so many things about how they deal with sugar and how they treat sugar and get way down. But do we have to give up all sweets forever and ever? Just shoot me now. That's just not going to happen. But can we do it and get to a really moderate place? I will tell you, absolutely we can. You can get to where you are in control with sweets and sweets don't control you. I can promise you that. All right, so back to my slides. Deprivation does not work. And I want to share with you some things that I've learned. If it's avoiding entire groups of food and you can't see yourself doing it for life, then it's not going to end well. Just let me say that. All righty, the next one. Oh, I wanted to share this. This is Diane Kelly, and she's down in Florida. And just take a look at this. She says, diets, I've done them all. And she says, but diet-free cleared up a lot of misconceptions about sustainable weight loss. She says, I don't have to give up all grains, all sweets. Who knew? And now 27 pounds later, I feel amazing. My numbers are all good now too. These habits aren't hard. They aren't depriving. I can do this forever. Thank you for sharing with us, Diane. I appreciate that. And here's Mark Varble. He says, when I'm on a diet, all I can think about is getting off of it. So words cannot describe how deeply I love this diet-free approach. And I am sharing the diet-free approach. By focusing on good choices and healthy eating, the weight is coming off, and best of all, it's sustainable. I've lost 30 pounds. I've gone down 4 notches on my belt. My doctor have said, whatever you're doing, keep it up. Your blood work is outstanding. So I'll tell you, half it, you can have it. Learn to recognize that our food environment is tough. And number 5, what I know for sure, that exercise can't be a have to, make it your get to. When you start to turn that around and you find that thing that you really enjoy doing and you can't wait to do it, and it might just be walking. It might just be walking with friends. Take a look at this picture and take a look at this. What do you think? What do you see? Go ahead and put in the chat what you see in this picture. I mean, a lot going on here. There's camaraderie, there's friends, there's support group, friends helping each other. It's friends time, it's fun time. They're having fun, it's encouragement, fellowship, support, smiling, great social environment with friends, getting healthy. I love it. And it looks to me like they were 2 trees back and said, I'll race you to that next tree. And I think they pushed each other to the end. And I think they get together, they have a great time together. And I want to encourage you. Thank you for sharing your comments. You did a great job. Whether it's guys getting together to shoot hoops, whatever it is, girls getting together, I love my get-to time. And when you can change that and goal set to that, that's what it makes the difference, all the difference in the world. All righty, find your get to. It might be tennis, it might be hiking. That's my favorite thing to do. Hidden Lake Gardens near my home. Martial arts, it might be that. Lifting weights, it might be a spin class, which is indoor. Lifting weights, golf, shooting hoops, whatever. But when you find your get to, that's when it makes all the difference. Here's Terry. She was exhausted all the time. And she loved how the diet-free steps were incremental and logical. She thought, every seminar said I can do that. And little by little, she changed her eating and moved a little more. And look at that. Now she's lifting some weights. She's doing some walking. And she's lost 40 pounds. Her cholesterol's dropped 40 points and her triglycerides dropped 100 points. What a difference. So I want to share with you. Sometimes we think little steps don't work and we have to be we got to jump all in on Monday morning. No, no, no. Small gradual steps are what works. It really, really does. All righty. So next up, what I know for sure, number 6, my last one, and that is what I know for sure. Foods must be enjoyable, plentiful, and teeming with all the vital nutrients. So cravings are replaced with satisfaction. Your cravings are replaced with feeling satiated. Let me just share with you, when you make this change, when you are starving and you can't help but overeat, it's because you really are starving. Check this out. This is Molly. She's lost over 100 pounds. And she says, I ate like I was starving, and nutrient-wise, she was. But now, because she's changed to nutrient-dense foods, when she eats, she feels satisfied. And she's even discovered a new passion for cooking, shopping, and reading labels, something she thought she hated. She learned to love and enjoy. And she's even walking every single day. She loves her new lifestyle and how it makes her feel. Adopting the 8 habits has changed her life. So I'm going to tell you, nutrients are important. Absolutely. This is Ashley Lamar, elementary school principal. And he used to win every weight loss challenge, every one, and he always gained them right back. And this was the first time that he can stick with this, just making some good habit changes. It makes all the difference. So I want to encourage you for that. So the fastest way to eat healthy, I'm going to tell you, it's got to be easy. It's got to be fast. I'll tell you lickety-split meals. In the diet-free program, I'll be making lots of recipes each and every week if you join us for the diet-free program. And we'll be making lots of great recipes. And we'll be featuring it so that it's fast. Really featuring it. In some of my other courses, we featured the Eat Real Cookbook that I'm also co-author of, or eatrealamerica.com. They're all great resources. But in this course, we're going to focus on this because we want meals fast and easy. I'll tell you, that's what we want. So will you join us? This is a premiere edition, kicking off diet-free my deep dive edition that's running now. It starts right now, right now. Anybody that signs up, you already have your introduction seminar taped for public television. It's rare that I do this publicly and share this publicly. It's usually to corporate work sites, but I'm super excited to do it. And I want to share with you that diet-free rewires your brain. It dials down your desire for sweet, salt, and fat. It ramps up your desire for nutrient-rich foods, develops an innate portion controller, and steps you into exercise in a way so that you can and don't want to be without it. And I want to share with you, check out Debbie. She's a past diet-free person, actually past and present. And her first goal was to exercise every day in 2020. I'm like, that's a steep goal. She was like, it's only 20-minute walk with the dog, but I'll do it every single day in 2020. I'll do more, but at least that much every day. And guess what? She colored in a day every single, and she did it every single day of 2020. There was a couple of days she was sick and she did it anyway. And it's like an amazing goal. Check. Her next goal was to walk a 5K. Walk a 5K. She had never thought she was going to do that. And sure enough, there's Debbie. And way to go, Debbie. And there's the lemon dog, Charlie. Lemon dog, he's had a lot of surgeries. And there it is. How exciting. Look at the exuberance and the excitement of doing something she didn't really ever think she could ever do, but doing a 5K. The next thing I want to share with you is that if you choose to join us in Diet Free, it's highly supportive. And we work together as a group, and I'll be working with you. We'll be meeting every other week here and coaching each other and making it through the 8 habits that will change your life, my 8 diet-free habits. So let's just take a look. I want to share a video with you, really short, just a minute and a half, that shows a gentleman who set the goal of running a marathon. Now that's a big goal. I've never run a marathon. I've never run a half marathon, but I've done a 5K and a 10K, and I've done a triathlon, a mini triathlon, and I've loved those. I'll tell you, sometimes when we set goals, they can be a 5K, they can be small things. They can be biking. But I want to share with you what this guy did. He set a goal to do a marathon, and I want you to see what encouragement and support, when it puts it together, how exuberant it can be. Go ahead and roll tape.
Formerly from Calorie. John's got some of his family and friends waiting here at the finish line, along with a bunch of volunteers. Come on, right, John. Come on.
When I watch that video, I am enthralled. That Sean set the goal of doing a marathon, and it wasn't easy, but he did it. And did you see the exuberance on his face of completing that goal and the help and support that came with it? So that's what we're kicking off today. And I'd love, a lot of you are already signed up. Yay, you. And I'm excited about that. And it starts next week, but it starts right now. I mean, our very first live webinar will be again here from the kitchen next week, and then it'll be every other week from there on through November. But right now, if you choose to join and sign up with us, you'll get to watch the introductory webinar, the introductory seminar that was taped for public television. And I'm so proud of it. It's some of the best work I've ever done. And then the first habit seminar. And the first habit seminar is called Drink Water and Think Before You Drink Anything Else. We'll be looking at beverages, how we hydrate. Are we really hydrated? And really then looking at our fitness, just move it in our everyday, being a little more active in our everyday. I will tell you, getting started with the first habit starts right now. And you have a week to work on that. And then we'll meet again a week from tonight. And then it'll be every other week. And if you can't make it live to the live seminars here, our webinars here, then it's okay. The recording will always be sent to you the next day. So you don't have to be here live. But I'm inviting you to join. So we'll go back to our slides so you can see. I'm inviting you to join us. Oh, and I didn't share that Debbie's next big goal is to walk the Mackinac Bridge. Yay, yay, Debbie. And I'm going to walk the Mackinac Bridge with you, Debbie. I'm going to do that. And that's coming up in the fall here. So pretty excited about it. It's a big goal. It's over 5 miles. So taking her 3 miles to 5 miles. I love it. And so the program starts now. If you want to set some goals, small goals, little goals, medium-sized goals, big goals, and really make a difference in how you feel coming into the holidays at the end of the year this year, we can make that happen. And our diet-free deep dive is very important, includes really important, not only the cookbook, but our lifestyle guide and that diet-free novel, which is so inspirational and so good. The habit tracker, it all comes together. I want to encourage you to really think about it. Now, the cost is $299. It's for the whole 4 months, and our live Facebook group where we're going to be supporting each other. And I'm available for Q&A all the time via email or by the Facebook group. So I'm going to tell you, it's a great thing. If you've already done diet-free before and you want to revisit and do this amped up program, or we're going to have our live 9 additional seminars here, then it's only $199 for alumni, diet-free alumni or repeaters. You already have the materials, and that would be for you. That's why there's 2 choices. And there's Ditch Diets 10 to save 10% with that coupon. So if you want to sign up, please do it. Don't delay, because your 2 seminars are waiting you to get caught up. I love it. Eric Van Drott, way to go. He says it's totally worth it. I lost 50 pounds on diet free. Eric, yay you. Eric's featured on the, right in our lifestyle guide. Right there's Eric featured right here. I love it. Way to go, Eric. Featured right here, lost 50 pounds, and you're with us on the call today. I love it. Diet-free, 8 habits, deprivation. We are not ever going to feel like we're on a diet. That's how that's going to be. So what else can I share with you? I think, did I have one more slide to share? I think, I wanted to share that there's a 45-day no risk guarantee. I want diet-free to be perfect for you, perfect. And some of you are not quite sure. So the only way to know is to try it. You got 45 days from today. So go ahead and sign up, get started. And I'll tell you, if it's not working for you, if you don't love the way we're changing the way we think, the way we're working a little bit at a time, it's not an all-in, jump in and change everything and feel like you're on a diet. No, it's one habit at a time. And I'll tell you, we will work it out. We will not be exercising, doing marathons, training for marathon, not even. Setting little small goals, and you will be amazed at what you can accomplish and do. So I would encourage you to try it. So our 45-day no risk guarantee, remember Ditch Diets 10. I'd love to just have you join us. And that, one last thing, Rose, she says one word for this program. Amazing. I appreciate that. She says the time doing the program was such a worthwhile investment in herself. I appreciate her saying that. She said the small goals she set and achieved each week led her to feel stronger, more energetic, and more overall confident. Best of all, her doctor says she's kicking prediabetes to the curb. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Way to go, Rose. And I just want to say thank you for joining me today. I said I'd be available for questions. And so if you've been putting questions in the chat, I will tell you that Debbie Yates has been collecting those questions for me. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. And what do you find? Love shirt is available to buy. Melodine Bird, thanks for asking. You know what? Since you asked, I will find out where I got the shirts, if they will make them available for you to order. So I can just make that happen. So I will make the phone call tomorrow, and I'll be letting you know by Beat Communication. So thank you for that question. I love my shirt. I love it. Living diet free, baby. Living diet free. You can get them in a variety of ways. So great. Thank you. Anybody else? Somebody was crying during that video. I know. Scott got the tissues for me. He thought I'd cry again because I've watched enough times, I guess. But he thought I'd need it, but I didn't. And so anything else?
Do you want me to read the questions to you?
Yes, you got questions. Good.
I do.
Yes.
So Susan asked, which foods help me burn off fat?
Great question, because those are the foods we want to eat. And I will tell you that the number 1 food that helps you burn off fat, are you ready? Is the easy button salad. Why did I call it the easy button salad? I want vegetables. I know that you say, well, it's rabbit food, but learning to roast vegetables, learning to enjoy them cooked and raw and in soups, enjoying 9 to 11 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, let me tell you about these foods right here. These are a negative calorie food. When you eat them, they take more calories to digest them and to metabolize them and to move them through our 24-foot digestive tract. It takes more calories than it does than they yield. That's a negative calorie food. So the foods that burn fat are negative calorie foods. They have less calories in them than they take to push through to digest. And in Lickety-Split meals, there is a recipe for miracle soup. And miracle soup is a fat burning food because it's chock full of vegetables and it's nourishing, it's hydrating, it's very delicious, it's loaded with vegetables. And when you eat that, you burn more calories than it yields. Miracle soup. So 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables are going to be your number one best way. The next thing is that our minds have all said we've got to be fat-free, fat-free. And no, you don't want to be fat-free. You want to have some fats. Absolutely. The good fats, not the fats that they use for the rigors of deep fat frying. Those are not good fats that help those increase inflammation in the body, but there are good oils like avocados and good oils like olive oil on a salad. Avocado is better. Whole avocado on a salad. But putting that together, I'll tell you, will make that for you. In fact, I did make something for you today, but I ran out of time to show it to you, but I could show it to you now if you wanted to, but we'll do a few more questions and I can share with you the recipe that I made. So number 2, fruits, vegetables, anything that's a plant. Plants are fat burners. And you think, well, isn't meat? Are proteins? Not necessarily. They can be, they can't be. But what I want you to do is a balance of food and it will bring it together. So we do need to bring calories down. Don't believe that the calories don't matter. They really do matter. At the end of the day, they really do matter. And intermittent fasting, what's so great about it is that it helps you eat less calories by the end of the day. And it doesn't make you burn calories on the same amount. It's not like that. But intermittent fasting can be a very powerful addition. So next up is the $1.99 price. Oh, sorry, Scott's pointing. I'll let Debbie's in charge, Scotty, not you.
Okay, so the next one is from Patty, who says, what is considered a healthy weight? Always been a big person my whole life. I am down a whole lot, but I don't think I have ever been what the insurance companies say what my weight should be.
Yeah, that's a great question. Was it Patty? I think you said asked that question. Great question. In the diet-free lifestyle guide, I do attempt to try to talk about that. And I call it your happy weight, the weight that you feel really good at, that you can move and be active at, and you feel strong. And your movement is not restricted. You're able to tie your shoes well. You're able to do what you can do well. And you're right. Big bone people and the insurance company charts are not always right. You know, the BMI is one way to check. And, you know, we have a body mass chart in here that you can review and do and be able to see where you're at. But you can talk with your doctor a little bit about it. I always like to ask people, well, you know, what feels like your best weight? What do you feel like is your best weight? And how long ago has it been since you've been at that weight? But to be able to find your weight, it might be only 20 pounds less than you are now, or just 10 pounds less than you are now. And that's a big win. So I'm not really caught up on finding an ideal weight. So yeah, I didn't really answer that. BMI charts are very deceiving. But if you can look at that and say, you know what, I'm going to compromise and that's going to be my goal right there, not there, but there, that's going to be my goal, then great. Pick that goal and go with it. There's more to it, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, all those values too, but how you feel and how much energy you have. And if you can climb 3 flights of stairs easily without being too winded, yes, that's where we want to get you. Okay, great question. I hope that helps. Next.
Okay, next is from Lindsay, who just wondered if you've ever been a guest on the Dr. Oz show.
No, I've not been a guest on the Dr. Oz show. I've met Dr. Oz and had a great little conversation with him, and that was fun, but I've not been on a show. And people say, Zonya, have you been on the Oprah Winfrey show? And no, but I did get to work with Bob Green, Oprah's personal trainer, for a good 6 weeks. And it was very fun working with him on a special project on the Best Life Tour. And I never got to meet Oprah, but I did, I was standing there talking to Bob and his phone rang and it was Oprah. So that's as close as I got to Oprah. But anyway, thanks for asking. Maybe someday.
Okay, the next one is from Mark, who says, Zonya came and did several sessions at our work. I do not recall how many weeks. Does that count as alumni?
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. But Mark, if you're the Mark, I may think, no, you are.
Mark Gruber.
Oh, okay. If, okay. So if I'm not currently, yes, that does absolutely count you. Yep. You have the materials. You participated in the diet-free program and yours might've been yellow instead of white, but you have a lifestyle guide and you have the materials and you watch the video seminars, you've done diet-free, that does constitute. So yes, you're an alumni. And so yes, you would constitute for the 199. And the 10% goes for you too.
The 199, somebody's asking that.
Yep, the 10% goes against the 199 as well, both of them. Yep, good question.
Okay, so then the next question is for Dawn, who would like you to go back to number 6 of the things that you know. Can you bring that slide back up and just show us what the words were on that one again? She missed the second half of that point.
Sure, we can do that. So let's go to number 6.
Yes.
Yeah. Foods must be enjoyable, plentiful, and teeming in all the vital nutrients, so cravings are replaced with satisfaction. Yeah, and if you're enjoying the slides, I mean, I can share them. I'll be happy to send the link to be able to see the PDF of the slides. So if you'd like me to do that, I can do that in an email. I'll send an email, kind of follow up and include my slides for you. And I'll also include the replay so that if you wanted to watch it again or you wanted to share it with someone that you could.
Okay, the next question is from Jennifer, who says, how do you feel about limiting foods containing lectins to lose weight? Oh, wait, that one was from Kay. I'm sorry.
Okay, great question, Kay. I know that Dr. Gundry is a powerful force in the world, and I've read his books too. And what I like to rely on is I always like to go to other experts and see what they have to say. And I can include this in my follow-up notes if you'd like, that I send out. But there's a really great review by Dr. Greger that really explains and says that Dr. Gundry's beliefs about lectins being bad for you are not founded in science, even though Dr. Gundry talks about that. And he believes, and then he's like, well, you can't really eat low lectin because the bottom line is he says they're really bad for you, but you really can't live without can't eat without lectins. So then he sells you a nutritional supplement to block lectins because, and the thing is, lectins are actually good for you. And this is what so many people, like for instance, kale. Kale has oxalates in it. Kale has things that will bind with other nutrients, but it has so many good things to it. Animal foods have cholesterol, saturated fat, but they have a lot of other good things going for them too. So when we try to say eggs bad for you, kale bad for you because it has these interfering oxalates. This is bad. You pretty much can't eat anything. And so lectins are founded on unproven theories. And no, I do not eat to remove lectins from my diet. Absolutely not. Lectins are in beans like pinto beans, kidney beans, garbanzo beans. But when you cook them, as long as you don't eat them raw, and nobody eats them raw, they're cooked, that they are fantastic for you. And that breaks down and removes, disables the lectins. And I will tell you, the foods that he tells you not to eat are the foods that are key cancer fighters. They're key cancer fighters. And we have science study after study after study to prove that. So no, as much as I'd love to be a fan of Dr. Gundry, I am not. And I rest on the shoulders of other really good experts to come to that finding, not just my own. So that's my answer. But if you would prefer, if you're like, no, I still like Dr. Gundry, you can go that direction and see how you feel about it. But that's my feeling for you. Okay. Thank you very much for asking. It's a great question. Next.
Next question, this one, it really is from Jennifer. What time and day are the weekly sessions?
Okay, great. They are at 7 p.m., same as it was tonight, on Thursdays, and that's Eastern time. So same as it was tonight. That is when every 2 weeks. It's going to be in 1 week from tonight that we're kicking off. And we're kicking off tonight, though. I mean, I don't want you to wait because there are 2 really important video seminars that you want to watch and get started on. I come on camera and I tell you what to do, how to open up your lifestyle guide and set some goals. And I encourage you to do that. And Eric Van Drat, who has done this complete program before, is starting it all over and doing it again. And Melodine Bird, I mean, so many of you have done this program before and you're doing it again because it's so good to revisit these habits, because you're doing pretty good with them, but you got to revisit them because making them even more solid and in your life is really, really important. And one thing different, tonight is a webinar. None of you are allowed to turn your cameras on because it's a big group. We had over 500 people register. So we keep it as a webinar. But I will tell you that we will do it as a Zoom meeting when we do the meetings. And so you can elect to have your camera on, and I hope you do, because it's like you're across from the kitchen counter from me, and we're able to do a lot more together. And one thing different too is that I will be cooking. I will be cooking a little bit. We'll do 1 or 2 recipes in each segment because I really want you to get into this cookbook and have solutions to quick dinners so that you really ramp up, muscle up your skills for completing great fast dinners. So did I answer that question? I can't remember what the question was. Okay.
You did, and then some. Okay, the next question is from Marcy, who says, I've always heard that corn is high in sugar and carbs. Should this be limited?
Great question. Thank you for asking that. Here's another, let's throw the baby out with the bathwater. Oh, look at that. It's got carbohydrates in it. Peas, they got carbohydrates in them. You just eat broccoli and cauliflower and carrots. Oh, no, wait, carrots have a little bit of sugar in them too. Better not eat those either. We have got to quit throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And we've got to remember that plants are fantastic for you. And corn has an amazing soluble fiber in it that helps sponge cholesterol out of your body. I love corn, especially right now, sweet corn in the summertime. Oh my goodness, corn, but when you eat corn, think of it as a grain because it is a grain. It's not a vegetable. I know that's very depressing, but it's a whole grain. Popcorn, love popcorn. That's one thing. I can never be paleo or keto because if I never get to eat popcorn ever again, forget it. Sign me out. It feels like a diet. I'm deprived. I love my popcorn, but it's part of my grain family. So when I have popcorn, I have less grain. So what happens with a meal has bread and it has corn and it has lemonade and it has carbs from all these other places. No, it's the other carbs that we need to work on. Corn is a whole grain. So I include it. One of my very fabulous recipes in Eat Real Cookbook uses corn, black beans, and sweet potatoes. And a lot of people are like, that's so many carbohydrates. No, it's really not. It's the right good for you carbohydrates. And it's the foods that the longest lived people of the earth over 100 years, what they all eat. They eat plants. So corn, yes, you don't want to have too much corn and you don't want to have like a big giant bowl of popcorn, but so get that popcorn size down smaller, but very enjoyable and very included. So yes, and corn, I suggest you buy organic because they use glyphosate, GMO corn and glyphosate. And those two things together are linked to health concerns. There is study after study after study. I know that a lot of people, don't want to believe it, and that glyphosate's a problem, but I will tell you that's glyphosate is Roundup. But I will tell you, yes, I can show you, if you want me to send you the list, it's like you read them and you read it and you read it and go, oh my gosh, study after study after study. It's like, whoa. So I encourage you to buy organic corn, organic soy. I use organic soy milk. So those are some ideas. I try to buy most things organic, but not everything organic, but as much as I can. But definitely corn is something I try really hard to buy organic. Can't always, but most times. Next question.
Next up is from Lori Ann, who says, is the revised Lickety-Split book the same as the previous one? Is it different recipes? Basically, what is different?
Thank you for asking. It's the same recipes. But when I wrote it, 20 years ago. I know, 20 years ago, I did a darn good job, but I will say some things have changed. And I was able to get feedback from people that said, you know, if you add a little of this to that, it'll make it even better. And I was like, oh, that's a really great idea. That's a great spice to add to that. It's a great whatever. And I also revised this with the current USDA recommendations for a healthy lifestyle. And no longer is total fat an issue. We used to say low fat made it good, low fat made it good. And really, it doesn't have to be low fat. It just needs to be low in saturated fat. It just needs to be low in trans fats, which nothing is trans fats in here, but being able to have good fats in the right amount. So those were kind of some of the edits. I went through page by page and made some edits to just update that. And it's interesting because this was so core, central, good for you, great stuff, fruits and vegetables. It wasn't a lot of edits, but I do prefer using this. I also have one recipe is my simple summer fruit salad. Oh, simple summer fruit pie. And I used a diet Jell-O for it. And I give you now the alternative to be able to use Knox gelatin without the food coloring and without the NutraSweet artificial sweeteners. So I have that option. That's the idea of the changes. It's essentially the same book. If you're thinking about joining Diet Free and you already have an old copy of Lickety-Split Meals, well, I encourage you to go ahead and join Diet Free, get the materials, and gift that old book to someone else and get yourself the new copy. That's what I suggest you do. I think it's worth it. Yeah, and you get it really economically with the program. So I would encourage you. Great question. Thanks for asking. I hope that answered it.
Okay, and here's a follow-up that just came in from Anissa. Will Alumni get the updated cookbook?
Okay, Alumni will not get the updated cookbook. Yeah, the Alumni, the pricing assumes that you already have your materials. So what the Alumni cost is that you've already paid for the materials, and sometimes it didn't have the cookbook in old versions of Diet Free, so you'll need to pick up a cookbook. So if you'd like to, what I would encourage you to do is you can do the $199 if you have all the other materials because you've done Diet Free before, and just throw a cookbook in your cart. The Lickety-Split Meals. You can put an Eat Real cookbook in there too while you're at it. So yes, I would encourage you to get that. And I realize some older Diet Free versions didn't include the cookbook, but it does now. Great question.
Okay.
Alumni version does not include any materials. We assume you have the materials because you've done Diet Free before.
So this next one is a two-parter that I think that you've already talked about, but I was multitasking when you might have been saying it. So let's just make sure. This is from Karen, who says, first of all, is the $199 price only applicable for those who have been in this program before? And the second part is the Ditch Diets 10 only good for the $299 price?
The Ditch Diet 10% off works for both $199 and $299. So ding, 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 that works for both. And then also, the question was, if you've taken Diet Free before, you've been in the program, you've seen my 10 video seminars taped for public television, you have the lifestyle guide, the materials that came with that program, then you are an alumni and you can do the $199. That's the only people that can do the $199, the repeater Diet Free. Just because you might have the cookbook or you might have the Water with Lemon book, you don't have the other essential materials you need, and you have not purchased the seminar program. For those of you repeating, you're not paying for the seminars because you've already paid for the seminars before. That's why yours is $199, because you've already invested in Diet Free previously. So I hope that's clear. Thanks for asking. These are great questions. Either way, I think you'll find it really affordable. And I mean, really affordable for a 4-month program. Oh my gosh, I think you'll find it really affordable. And remember, there's that 45-day money back guarantee. Okay, when was the cookbook updated? Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll let Debbie, did you have another one?
Well, I was actually going to go with that one because you had just been talking about it. When was the cookbook updated?
Yeah, thank you. It was updated in, held the phone. I think it was 2018. It was updated in 2018. Yep, this 2018 edition, yes, is an updated version of the previous editions. So some of you might have a 1998 or a 2004 or 2007. We've had many publishings, but the updated version is 2018 or more. It's what it'll say. 2018 or more right there is what it'll say. You can't see it, but yeah. So right on the inside page. And like I said, I would encourage you to get the updated, but if 20 bucks is really tough for you, yeah, then don't pick it up. But for anybody doing it's included for everybody doing the $2.99. Yes.
Okay, the next question is from Carrie, who says, is the main point of intermittent fasting to stop eating 3 hours before going to bed and then throughout the night? So approximately 12 hours of fasting?
Yes, that is the proper and best way to do intermittent fasting. I will be talking about this in our second webinar on 3 weeks from tonight, actually. I will be talking about this in depth because we're going to talk about breakfast and customizing it for you, making it work best for how you are. And everybody's a little different about what their body prefers and likes and when to time that. But I will tell you that not eating 3 hours before bed is magical. It is the most magical habit because that's when we're snacking on stuff we shouldn't be eating anyway. And we need a cutoff time. And then going to bed, light on our stomach, not feeling full, revolutionizes your life. You get off GERD, that's gastroesophageal reflux disease, that heartburn medicine. You sleep more soundly, you sleep better. It's amazing getting off food. Now you might have a small snack. Everybody will customize this to be just right for them. But I will tell you, not eating 3 hours before bed, and then you have a 12-hour fast by the time breakfast rolls around. That's perfect. You never want intermittent fasting. You don't want to do it wrong, and you don't want it to kick you in the butt. And I'll be talking about how to do it wrong and how it actually backfires on you. So we'll prevent any of the ways for it to backfire on you. Great questions. I do see a question I can't help but, when we sign up and how do we get the materials? Well, when you do the $2.99, the materials will be shipped to you by yours truly right here, Mr. Scott, with loving care. It'll be shipped off to you right away. But as soon as you sign up, that's the man right there. But I will tell you that you will be able to begin in the LMS, the Learning Management System, right away. So you'll be able to begin right away. As soon as you log in, you will be put in, I don't know, you get like a password and everything to go in, and you'll click on your course, Diet Free, and you'll be able to watch the first 2 seminars that are there waiting for you. There's also an extra goodies tab. So you'll be able to do our exercise video, watch Sherry McLaughlin. There'll be all kinds of great things. So extra goodies tab, it'll pace you through. You'll see how they'll unlock, but you'll be able to see on the intro, and the first habit seminar is awaiting you now. And the materials will be shipped to you. I wanted to say, invite a friend. Scott's saying, invite a friend, wherever it is, invite a friend, because, and they can get the Save Ditch Diets 10 too, to save with that as well. So, and you'll get the replay of this. They can watch this if you think it'd be helpful for them, but invite a friend to attend with you because it's good support. It'll help you. Yeah, we're going to be your friend. We're going to support you. But when you have a friend, a workout buddy, a goal setting buddy, that helps you do better. So think about it, a friend. Next, anything else, Debbie?
Oh, yes. While we're still on the topic of materials, Melodine said, I would love to have a new lifestyle book. And I just wanted to point out that on the website, if you sign up as a repeater, once you put it in your cart, the items along the bottom that say you might also be interested in, there is an option for the lifestyle guide and a new habit tracker if you need fresh ones of those.
Yes, we sell them as a replacement when you do the $1.99, and we also sell them as a replacement or a partner kit, so that the partner, you and your partner, can do it side by side and not have to share your note-taking goal setting book. So great question. Yeah, a new book. It's funny, Melodine. Second time through is great. Now, Melodine, are you participating in the group with Blue Cross Blue Shield again? Because if you are, this is mirroring what we're doing at noon for them. We can have a conversation later, Melodine, but then we can I can answer your question on the side by email if you want. I'll email you later. Because we're doing the same thing that I'm doing in the evening with you all. We happen to be doing it at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas. Love them. They're so good to your people. I know, so good. So I didn't know if you were doing that, because if you are, there would be no reason to do this one too, because it would be really very similar. Okay.
Okay.
Next
is from Jennifer, who says, what is the PBS connection? These are taped for PBS?
Yes, thank you for asking. I kind of didn't introduce myself really good at the beginning. Some of you know me from public television. I have a TV show series called Zonya's Health Bites. And then I also, Diet Free has been so successful. It was featured for a 2-hour special. You know how you see Wayne Dyer or Susie Orman doing the pledge specials? Well, that was me. I got to do one of those pledge specials, and they did a 2-hour deep dive focus on, and I presented for a studio audience. It turned out fantastic. And it's because PBS is so good at editing it and making it so good. I'm so proud of these video seminars. So because we were able to partner with PBS, that's how we're able to bring this program to you so inexpensively. I mean, really, $2.99 is so inexpensive for this program to be there's 30-minute taped before a live public audience, and they're riveting. They're edited tight, and I'm on the edge of my seat watching them. And when I watch them, I go, oh my gosh, I forgot that I said that. And oh yeah, I need to be doing that. I forgot all about that. And they're inspiring for me. I never get tired of them. And I think that I'm so proud of them, their work that I'm so proud of. So I think you would be proud of it too. I think you would enjoy it and value from it. So that's the PBS Connection. They were taped for a live public television audience, edited by them, put together. So there you have it.
Okay, next one is from Olga, who says, how does it help in stabilizing osteoporosis?
Oh, great question. Not only are we talking about nutrition that helps nourish your body, but nourish your bones. I'm passionate about osteoporosis prevention because my grandmother had osteoporosis so terribly. In fact, her bones were so porous, just walking to the bathroom, beneath her weight, her main femur broke and she fell. You know, a lot of people think you fall and break a bone. Hers broke and she fell because her bones were so brittle. I'm so passionate about bone health. And yes, these 8 habits in Diet Free, which I didn't take the time to tell you what the 8 habits are, but they are posted in the description. They're descripted. There's link to you can, on the website description, you can look at all what the 8 habits are, and they absolutely build bone health. And one of the biggest things that build bone health, we always think it's calcium and that we need calcium. And yes, you can use calcium-rich foods. I love Greek yogurt. I love so many great things, dairy. But guess what? Plants, vegetables, leafy greens are amazing bone builders. I know they don't have as much of a marketing board like the dairy board does, but the nutrients and the calcium that they contain are actually great bone builders. So Diet Free is going to lead you into a more plant-centered, lots of fruits and vegetables, a more balanced, not too much protein, because protein can leach calcium from the bones. We'll have some protein, but less, and we'll have the right amount. What you do in Diet Free is you go to bed and you have the right calories and the right amounts that's right for you without having to count anything. That's what's so cool about Diet Free. So yes, bone building. It's very healthy. There's not a single thing that I'll say that's contradictory. It's all supportive and goes along with bone building. Thank you for asking that question. It's excellent. But also work along with your doctor too, to discuss if you want to additionally take a calcium supplement, which you absolutely may want to do. Vitamin D supplementation, key for everyone, key for bone health. Vitamin D is probably number one more important than calcium. But calcium and vitamin D, absolutely. And vitamin D in some pretty high levels, like 2,000 to 5,000 a day. So I hope you're taking that. I'm taking that, 2,000 to 5,000. I take 5,000 in the winter, 2,000 in the summer, every single day. Got my family doing it. We got to get our vitamin D stores up. It's linked to having a better COVID outcome. If you have high levels of vitamin D, It's important. It helps our immune system in so many ways. Vitamin D is linked to diabetes prevention. It's linked to bone health. We used to think it was only linked to bone health, but now it's like linked to immune, all kinds of things. Okay. I just want to say that I promised to be done at 8 o'clock. Someone asked, how long will the webinars be? Will they be this long? Really, they will be typically 45 minutes of content, 15 minutes of question and answers, even though in the other ones, I'm a little bit more, we answer questions along the way, but we will end very near 8 till a little bit after 8. I don't mind giving extra time from my standpoint. If you don't mind staying for extra time, I don't mind, especially tonight, since you have lots of questions. All right. Any other questions?
Oh, yes. The next question, you've kind of talked about this, but I'm not sure if you've specifically asked this. So let's just make sure. Patricia says, I know the 8 habits. Is the intent of the seminars to help with day-to-day implementation?
Wow. Wow. Did you ask a fantastic question? I have had people come up to me and go, oh, so you're the author. Oh, the 8 habits that'll change your life. What are they? And they look at that and they go, oh, drink water, include breakfast, eat often, tame your sweet tooth, find the fat, replace processed food with wholesome, eat until no longer hungry, and stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. Yep. And everyday exercise. Yeah, I know all those. Yep. What else you got? And I go, wait a second. Do you know all those? Yeah, I know all those. But do you do all those? Well, no, I don't actually do them, but I want you to teach me something new. Teach me something I don't know. What do you know about ketogenic? And should I be in ketosis? I mean, I'm like, no, you need to do these 8 habits. And so you said it. This program is about implementation of these habits that sound too simple to be true, too simple to be so impacting in our life. And they are so impactful in our life. Oh my, are they ever? So it's implementation. It's overcoming obstacles that derail us. I am so heartsick about people who say, oh, those healthy lifestyle doesn't work for me. I have to do something extreme in order to lose weight. No, you don't. Let's do something extreme about implementing these habits so they're automatic. Remember, a habit will either drive you to success or drive you to failure. This program is about implementation in a fun, cheerful, encouraging way. We're going to blow through any obstacles that have ever derailed you before. Thank you for that great question. Next
question comes from Michelle, who says, what do you think about eating 5 cups of beans per week? And I hope she's not talking about my dog.
That's right. Very funny. Your dog has lost so much weight eating green beans.
Yes.
Your veterinarian said, give him green beans when he's hungry. And he just frozen out of it. Oh, man. Okay. 5 cups of beans a week. The person who asked about lectins is shuddering at the thought because beans have naturally occurring lectins, but when they're cooked, they're not there. And so beans help sponge cholesterol out of your body. They are like oatmeal and soft pinto beans, kidney beans, garbanzo beans. Are you talking about beans like that? Or are you talking about green beans? I think you're talking about pinto beans, kidney beans, and garbanzo beans, especially if you are plant-centered, if you are not doing a lot of animal foods. Absolutely. And even if you are, 5 cups, that's half, I always say a half cup serving. I want you to have at least a half cup serving 3 to 4 times a week. So that's a little bit more than what I'm suggesting. But absolutely, I think beans are a cholesterol lowering food. I think the wonderful protein, they're great for your kidneys. They're loaded with potassium that help lower blood pressure. They're amazing. Yeah, I don't think 5 cups is too much. Was that the question? I think it was.
It was.
All right, next.
Okay, next question is from Patricia, who says, I have the Lickety-Split cookbook. Would it be possible to swap it for the Eat Real cookbook?
I'm asking my shipping guy right here, and I'm saying, no, I'm going to tell you, you will not be disappointed having them both. I promise you, you will not be disappointed having them both. And no, unless you purchased it in the last week and you want to pay for the shipping to return it. But I would encourage you to keep it. I really would. That's my answer, and I'm sticking with it. It's only $20 or $25 for the Eat Real Cookbook. Besides, the Eat Real Cookbook's $25 and Lickety-Split's $20. So I would encourage you to have both. I'm going to tell you, this right here in your kitchen is thebomb.com. I'm going to tell you, this is fast, easy solutions. Oh my gosh, this has nourished my family for so many years. And this is taking it to the next level, baby. Oh my gosh, I just love, love, love. And this is a 28-day meal plan. This has a whole grocery list to help you stock your pantry. This has grocery lists. I mean, I am in and out of these. I don't know. What do you think, Debbie? Do you think people should have both? Tell me
Absolutely.
in the comments. If you own both cookbooks and you appreciate them, what do you think? Do you think she should return it or keep it? Own both. I know a lot of you own both, and you know what I mean. They're just, I don't know. I have both books, and I have so many people tell me that, I think it was Elizabeth Radoazzo was telling me, she was, Zonya, I sat down the other day and just read the tips in the Lickety-Split cookbook. Just reading the tips were so inspiring and motivating. And, you know, it's like there's so much great reading, even if you don't cook anything. And the Eat Real Cookbook, so much great reading, so much great stuff. I'll tell you, my favorite recipes. I got to have them both. Couldn't live without. I noticed a couple questions about gastric bypass surgery and will this work for you? And remember I said that each one of the habits will be adapted for you. So absolutely, I absolutely think there's so much going on with this to eat healthfully. And I know that you have to have small meals more frequently because you can't hold a lot at one time. And I do encourage more fruits and vegetables than a lot of times is comfortable for you, for people who have had gastric bypass surgery. So we have to adapt that to work for you. But absolutely, you would be missing out on 80% of all of it is 100% applicable to you. And we can adapt that a little bit to make it work. And yes, we can get you the protein that you need. Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it. There won't be a problem. All righty.
Okay, next question is from Stephanie. Are frozen veggies considered processed?
Great question. Actually, I guess they're processed, but not. They are not ultra processed. There's ultra processed foods. Here's how Krista and I define a processed food. And that is, and I say Krista, my co-author on the Eat Real Cookbook, but in Lickety-Split, I mean, the sixth habit is replace processed food and eat natural close to the farm. So I am, in all the 8 diet-free habits, I'm leading you up to eating real food, eating less processed food. We're stepping into it. And I will tell you that when they harvest it, chop it, wash it, they can wash it for you. They can even can it and put it in a can for you. As long as those ingredients, there's no monkey business. As long as there's no monkey business, we can allow them to do some processing for us for convenience. So processed, frozen, I use so many frozen, well, I shouldn't say so many, but I use frozen vegetables. They're washed, chopped. You can do a stir fry. It's one of my easy, mindless meals when you don't have a lot of time. So absolutely, frozen vegetables are number one. Check those ingredients to make sure they didn't put sauce and stuff in there. But frozen vegetables, great. Even canned. I buy no salt added. You can buy a lot of things that are processed, conveniently done for you. Check the ingredients. Read the ingredients. If it looks like real food, then it is. Great question. Next.
Okay, next is, let me scroll up. I was typing a question. That one you answered. Do beverages count in the fasting? I wake up and have my Rouvie shortly after waking after some water, and that's from Ruth.
Ruth, thanks for asking. And I love my Rouvie too. Some people say, yes, you can only have water and coffee that's black. You can't have anything in it. and it has to be, but no, Ruvi, I have Ruvi mid-morning as well. Love it. Some of you are like, what is she saying? It's R-U-V-I, Ruvi. And I'll talk about that in the first seminar. I love Ruvi. I encourage you, if you want to purchase it online, they're out of Utah and they're amazing. So yeah, I would encourage it. I still get my 12 hours in, but I have Ruvi in my 12 to 13 to 14 time period where I'm having that. So yeah, I think that answers the question. I think you can still get 12 hours in before your Ruvi, because you're going to stop eating 3 hours before bed. Hopefully you're going to sleep and then have your Ruvi at around the 12-hour mark, right in there. All righty, it's 8:36. I'm having fun, as you can tell. I would stay here forever, but everybody goes, you need to know when to say when. What do you think, Debbie? You got 1 or 2 more questions. What do you got?
Well, I have a couple of questions. One that I think is a good one for you to answer, and then another one was someone saying that they'd love to see the dish that you cooked and hear about what's in it. So I'll leave that up to you if you want to tack that on. But the question that I think we really should answer is, do you have to write down everything you eat? And that's from Julie.
Okay. No. Do you have to write down everything you eat? Oh, that feels like a diet. I hate that. I loathe that type of journaling. And the reason why is because it feels like a diet to me. However, some people value from it. So what's good for me isn't always what I mean, remember, everything is very customizable. Here's what we do. When I say that you'll be keeping track of things, the first week, I do have you write down all your beverages. You keep track of all your glasses of water the first week, and you keep track of all your calorie beverages, calorie, no calorie, whatever. Because I want you to see how you're hydrating. And I want you to see, and I have you keep track of your calories of what you're drinking. Are you drinking 100 calories a day in liquids, or 500 calories a day in liquids, or 1,000 calories a day in liquids? So the first week, you are going to keep track of all your liquids. But I'm never going to make you keep track of everything at the same time. We're going to focus on certain habits at a time. The next week, I'm going to have you keep track of your fruits and vegetables, like how many do you eat? Well, we're going to do breakfast and evening snacking. We're going to look at that contrast. And then the next one's going to be how many fruits and vegetables. You just keep track of fruits and vegetables. And so I'm tiptoeing you in one habit at a time, but I feel like it's very diet-like mentality to keep track of everything you eat. However, by the end, towards the end of the last month, we will graduate to the habit tracker, where I want you to just keep track of your habits in check. And you can jot down a bit about what you eat to help you with the fruits and vegetables. And so you can use this as a journal if that helps you. But mostly, I do not want you to feel like you're on a diet. We're just focusing on one habit at a time. I hope that answered that. All righty. For those of you that are still here, and there are still, 120 of you still on, thank you for your time. I hope you're standing. I hope you're getting most energy into your body and not sitting this whole time. But I will say this. If you want to see, it's only a minute and a half. I'll show you what I made. Shall we show them what I made? All righty. So what I made for you is in the cookbook. I think Lickety-Split meals on page like 86 or 87, something like that. And it is with the white bean, tomato, basil, parmesan. And I apologize that I didn't show it earlier, but I'm glad you're interested to see it. And uses 1 tablespoon of oil. And I do like to use oil for this. You can use, I mashed that garlic myself. But if you're too stressed, too busy, you can use garlic powder, or you can use that minced garlic in a jar. But right now it's smelling amazing. Let me just tell you. And then these are white beans. Some of them are navy beans. Some of them are those white cannellini beans, which are white kidney. And I'm sauteing them. I want them to start to break down a little bit. And then I'm going to add my chopped tomato. And these are ingredients I have on hand a lot. Now in the summer, I have fresh parsley on hand because I'm growing it. So excited. But you can also pick it up for what, 99 cents or something. And fresh basil, I'm growing that as well. And I roll it up like this into a little tobacco roll, and it makes these nice little ribbons, really awesome ribbons. It's just like, woo, nice. So these fresh herbs, and I'm adding a lot. It adds so much flavor. It's going to just, you don't cook herbs a lot, fresh herbs. You just want to just meld them a little bit into your dish. And I'm just going to finish this off with some fresh lemon. And I am going to then, nice fresh lemon. It's amazing how that just pops the flavor. I have fresh lemon in my house all the time. And then some Parmesan cheese. And yes, it's a half cup of Parmesan cheese, but it serves 4. So it's really not a lot. And I'm going to serve this with a few crackers. Look at that. Some whole wheat Triscuits, because I think that's a nice, some of you would think that's so much carbohydrate. No, it's not too much. If you wanted to only have 3 crackers, you could do that. And I have a big salad to go with that. This is satiating. This is nutrient rich. The flavors, the garlic, everything together. And I have demoed that recipe so many times out in when we used to have exhibits, and Scott would help me.
Yeah.
And people would come by and they would say, what is it? Oh, it's white bean, tomato, basil, Parmesan. Would you like to try it? Oh, I don't like beans. And I go, oh, you know what? I have lots of people say, but they like this. Would you try it? Have you tried a white bean before? And they're like, a white bean, what is it? And, and I go, it's got Parmesan. And I go, how's it smell? And they go, it smells like pizza. I go, I know it does. It smells like pizza. It tastes kind of a lot like pizza too. Do you want to try it? All right, I'll try it, but I don't like beans. And then they taste it and they're like, yeah, I like that. That was good. That was really good. So I want to encourage you that yes, that recipe I just showed you, my husband can make without even following the recipe. And isn't that awesome when you can do that? Yay, I love that when you can do that. And so yay. It's satiating, it's easy, it's a weeknight meal, and it tastes like it's like company, restaurant food. It smells amazing. It's very Mediterranean. And I will tell you, if you only have dried basil, it works. If you only have dried parsley, it works. But you just need a chopped tomato. And even if you don't have fresh tomato, you can use a canned tomato. You can improvise and make it really super easy. But I will tell you, that is what we love. So I wanted to share that recipe with you tonight. Like I said, each one of our live streams, we will definitely do that. Do a recipe to get you into Lickety-Split meals. That's part of the 15-minute meal ideas. 15-minute meal ideas. Again, I can't remember. I think it's page, was it 97? Might be 97. Oh, let me see. 90. No, wasn't 90. 95. Scott, you were close. Will we ever get to see Scott? His hands? You'll get to see his hands.
Right here.
Oh, there he is. There you get to see our messy house. Only a few seconds. Yay. Thank you to Julie Perry. She says, this has been great. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. Julie, thank you. And Sappho says, we love this dish. It's on our regular menu, pan rotation. Yay, Sappho. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that very much. And Debbie Yates says, me too. Yay. And thank you so much. And she says, I like canned beans in my salads. Absolutely. Canned beans in your salads. This is an often salad every single day for me. Definitely have a salad every day. Sometimes it's bigger. This is more of a little bit smaller size, believe it or not, to go with that dish like that. But that is nutrient rich. And when you crunch and munch all that, and just those few crackers give me a real satiation that just, I'm so satiated. I'm good. And it's diet free. People say, is it low carb? Well, it's not high carb. Let me tell you that. It's much lower because we're going to dial down sugars for you. You're going to get to where you're mixing lots of sugar in your diet. You're going to bring it down. And I will tell you, you're going to have some good carbs, some complex carbs, but not too many. You're not going to have too many. I promise you, you're not. We're going to get a handle on that without you having to measure things, just learning some new application skills to be able to live in moderate land. So, alrighty, as you can tell, I don't want to say goodbye. Debbie, are we going to say goodbye? We're going to say goodbye. Scott,
Yep, we're going to say goodbye.
We're going to say goodbye. Again, I just want to remind you, hopefully you know what the links. Oh yes, thanks Broccoli Bunch for joining us tonight. I hope you got some great ideas to help you and your family be healthy. And I hope you're thinking about joining us. And if you've already joined us, yay you. Can't wait. We'll start a week from tonight. Well, you'll start immediately. You've got 2 seminars to watch. and some habit homework to start working on. And then we'll meet and discuss and do obstacle busting and that real application of these 8 habits so that you can really, really do this thing. No more dieting, ditch diets forever. I want to say big shout out to Eric. Thanks for being here tonight. And all the rest of you. Sappho, so many of you that have been in diet free, thank you. You know the power of these 8 habits and how life-changing they are. That Sappho, she's lost like over 80 pounds, close to 100. She's doing awesome, awesome. Yeah, some of you are so fantastically doing great. Alrighty, I appreciate you. Be healthy, enjoy, and I hope to see you in the group. If not, my best to you and your family. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye.